and welcome to another edition of the Throwing Bagels Podcast. Jason Hamo here along with Kevin Mooney and Chris Douglas. How are you guys?
Good.
Not bad, Jason.
Yeah.
It's starting to
Cold
warm
up,
up
cold
now.
up by you guys?
Yeah, it's started. We're in double digits now, so that's good.
Ah, there you go.
That's a heat wave, man.
Exactly.
Yeah,
We're gonna hit the
20s.
30s. We're gonna hit the 30s up here tomorrow, I think. So, or down here, I should say. We have another great guest. This time, we have finally a guest who graduated around the same time we did in the year 2000.
Yeah.
None other than Jeff Ragovin. He is the founder and CEO of Ragovin Ventures, co-founder and board president of South Fork Sea Farmers, and he's a board member at Oswego State, as well, obviously, as I mentioned, an Oswego alum. Jeff, how are you?
I'm good. Good to see you guys.
Good to see you. It's been a long time.
Yeah, 26 years or so.
give or take a few.
You guys haven't changed?
Yeah, I mean,
A little grayer.
Lost some hair.
On peptides, right?
What's that?
Must be on peptides.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You know, I'm trying to keep myself looking the same. I just need the hair back. That's the only thing.
Yeah.
So Jeff, first thing I want to ask is, we obviously, like I mentioned to you earlier, we don't really talk politics on this podcast, but I saw that you were at Mikey Sherrill's inaugural ball.
Yes.
What was that like, and how did you score a ticket to that?
That's an interesting question. I got a little nervous when you were going to ask about politics. Yeah. So Mikey's ball inauguration ball was like a week ago. It was in New Jersey. My very good friend Karen, she was basically on the whole campaign trail through all sorts of interesting fundraisers for her, attended one out here in the Hamptons, and I thought she was awesome. Karen's like, hey, I'm going to the inauguration. Do you want to come with me? I have a VIP ticket. And I'm like, yeah, why not? I've never been to an inauguration. And it was insane. Like, there's a lot of people there. It was very loud. But, you know, it was cool. There was a lot of great energy. It was interesting being in New Jersey. I'm a New Yorker. But I think it was an important displacement for going forward. I happened to be friends with the Murphys, who were the outgoing governor, great governor. And, you know, Mikey, you know, she kept the state blue, which I think is important. So I think that was worth celebrating.
Hobnob with any famous people?
There was, I mean, Cory Booker was there. We were hanging out with him for a little bit. There wasn't like it was so many people. It was really kind of hard to talk because the music was so loud.
Okay.
And they had it at the American Dream. Have you ever heard of this place?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I'm like, we're going to a mall.
Yeah.
Wait, I'm like, it's black tie at a mall. I was so confused.
That's how they do it in New Jersey.
I was like, well, clearly, but then they had like all of the best vendors, like all of the best food in New Jersey, and it's just like there was so much food like everywhere, and I'm like, this is great. But like, you know, it was on a Tuesday, so it's a very late night. For a Tuesday, but it was fun. I had a good time. I'm glad I went. I don't know if I need to go to many more inaugurations. I checked that off the list.
There you go. Bucket list one done.
Yeah, exactly. But you know, I thought it was important, especially with everything that's going on in the world today. Like I try not to watch the news actually, because every day I do watch the news, I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah. I hear you.
This, you know, is that a distraction? What's going on here? Like, it was much simpler times when we were in college.
I know.
God, yeah.
Seriously.
You know? Like, I remember when we grew up, like, you know, we were born in the 70s. Like, we grew up in the 80s. Like, that seemed like a pretty easy time, you know?
No social media, no
social,
internet, nothing.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah. How did you get around and like get in touch with your parents and things like that?
I remember saying to my friends, okay, let's meet on the corner of 23rd and 3rd because we're going to go to the movie at 6. So let's meet there at 5:30. And everyone was on time, you know?
Yeah.
Yep.
But we didn't have any other methods of communication.
Yeah.
You know?
You either had to wait for them or leave them. That was it.
Yeah.
Crazy. But we somehow got by. We remembered everybody's phone number.
Right.
We all remember our phone numbers growing up.
Yep.
I couldn't tell you anyone's number now.
No. I know
No.
very few numbers now.
No.
Yeah.
But my parents got a new number. Like they had the number, my childhood number for 40 years. And then they had to change it. And I have no idea what it is.
Oh, that's horrible.
It's in your
It's
cell
in my
phone.
phone. I'll just
That's right.
find
Yeah.
parents home.
But yeah, that's the point. You don't need to know it now. So
Yeah, but if somebody takes your phone away and you're in the
I
middle
know.
of it, you have to
I
call
sh-
someone.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's
Who do you
true.
call? Like,
Wow.
hey, could someone log into my email account to email
Yeah, right.
someone? Right? It's kind of scary, actually.
Yeah.
To think about it.
it would be, yeah, it's true.
It'd
Your
be a
phone
problem.
dies.
Yeah, it'd be a
Yep.
problem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hope that you're with somebody else
Right.
has the number or has another number that can then get you that number.
Let's go back to the days of beepers. That was much more simple.
Oh,
Mm.
yes.
Or do you
Oh,
remember
yes.
do you remember the sidekicks?
Yeah, of course.
You know?
I always had the most advanced beeper in high school. So everybody had the regular beeper, that were like kind of like the drug dealer beepers.
Yeah.
But I had like this.
Clear one?
No, you basically would call a number and you'd say like, "Hey Jeff, meet me at so and so," and it was actually a live attendant that would type it in and send
Right,
it to
right.
the beeper.
Yep, I know that
And
one.
all
Yep.
my friends were like, "That's awesome," and they would like mess around and say all sorts of weird stuff, like because it was a live attendant, right?
Right.
It's weird.
Yeah. Person was like, "Oh, not this guy again."
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's funny.
But those were cool,
Yeah.
The good old days. So,
So-
you were a broadcasting major at Oswego, and you ended up working in sales and business development. Did you plan on getting into sales after college?
Oh my God, no. I was a meteorology major. I turned broadcasting.
Mhm.
I basically like 2 years into the meteorology course, I was like, this is too much physics and math. And like, as much as I love the weather, because I was a weather freak, I still am. I'm like, I can't do this. And so I switched to like broadcasting and mass media. And like, I'm like, oh, I'll just do the weather on TV, right? Which is like all of us and like, WTOP and WNYO and the Oswegonian and like, doing all the media stuff, right? That we love doing.
Hmm.
And then I graduated and I'm like, oh my God, what am I going to do? Like, I have no idea what I'm going to do. And my parents' neighbor in the city was like, oh, I'm partnered with this recruiting company and they're looking to hire someone right out of college. And I'm like, okay, I'd love to talk to them. And it was a technical recruiting job. This is 2000. And this is like the dot-com boom. And, they're like $27,500 base salary. I'm like, great, plus commission. And I remember my dad being like, what are you doing? Like, you just went to college to be a recruiter? And I'm like, well, I need a job. And like, I don't know, like, I'll figure it out. And so
Yeah.
I got a job as a recruiter and I placed like, Sybase DBAs and engineers at like big banks, like Cantor Fitzgerald and Morgan Stanley and crazy stuff. And I actually learned a ton. And one of the things that I learned very quickly was that I actually was really good at building relationships. So I worked with a ton of brands, got the recs so that we could actually recruit. And I think I made like probably almost $100,000 like my first year out of school, all on commission. And I was like, oh my God, I'm good at something, right? Other than what I went to school for. And then, then September 11th happened. And that was kind of that was a very pivotal moment of my life, actually. So September 11th, I was working for like, I don't know what, a year into post college. And I was on the 33rd floor on 33rd and Park, which is like 33rd floor, 33rd and Park, facing south.
Mm.
And I could see the Twin Towers, and I was in the office, and we saw the first plane hit. We're like, what the hell was that? And then the second plane hit, and we were very close to the Empire State Building. So on the loudspeaker, they're like, hey, we're evacuating the building. We're not really sure what's going on. And I remember with my colleagues, we were standing on Fifth Avenue at Nobody Beats the Wiz. Remember that store?
Oh, yeah.
Yep. Hmm.
They had
Oh,
all
yeah.
the screens, and we were watching it, and we were in like complete disbelief, like completely like, what is going on?
Yeah.
And I remember I was living on 50th and 2nd Avenue at the time, and I had a home phone. No one had a landline anymore at that point. Like everybody had switched to cell. But that day, Jay, I don't know if you remember this, but like in New York City, you could not make a
Yeah.
phone call.
Yeah.
No cell phone.
I tried getting in touch with my sister, my
Yeah.
father, like everybody. Yep.
No phones work. So I said, hey, everybody come to my house. I've got pasta, I've got beer, I've got like a landline. People can make calls. And I remember my boss calling, emailing everybody and saying, hey, everybody needs to get to the office tomorrow. And we're all like, what? Like, this is like the biggest tragedy on American soil I've ever experienced in our lifetime. I'm like, and people are just so shaken up. I mean, it was like,
Mm.
even if you didn't live in New York City, like anywhere in the country, people were so like shaken.
Mm.
And I remember going back to the office and I'm telling you guys this for a reason because it's just so, it was such a life-changing moment for me. And he's like, everyone's going to get on the phone and like people, lost their employees and they need to hire. And I'm like,
Wow.
so I'm like, so we're going to get on the phone and cold call? Like, I'm like, I'm not okay. Like, I'm not doing that.
I don't think
Like,
anyone from Cantor Fitzgerald would have wanted to hear you call and be like, "Hey, you need an employee right now?"
yeah, we've got Sybase DBAs for you.
Yeah.
So like about a week went by, I still wouldn't make a call. And this guy is like in my face. And he's just one of those, I learned a lot from him, but he's like in my face, like make cold calls. I'm like, I'm not doing it. Like I'm not doing it. I also had like a little bit of PTSD. So I had a twin brother who was in a rollerblading accident my senior year of high school who died.
Mm.
So I went to Oswego my freshman year. Like that just happened. So like this is now like 5, 6 years later as an adult, and it's like it brings back a lot of trauma. Even a week in, even 2 weeks in, I'm like, I'm not doing this. They fired me. And I was like, fine. Like I have a moral compass. Like I'm not making calls. I got a job 2 weeks later for this company called Digital Impact that was just going public out of San Mateo, California. And that's how I kind of got into the, whole like .com boom as a sales BD guy. Like I knew nothing about digital, like zero. I mean, like we all knew digital as far as growing up and like, that was our era. But as far as like marketing and email marketing and SEO and all that stuff, like I didn't know anything. I don't know why they hired me actually. But I'm glad they did. And I was there for like probably 4 years and then, got promoted, got another job, then went to an agency and then co-founded Buddy Media. And that was like the most crazy experience of my life. We exited to Salesforce in 2012. It's just like, life changing. And I look back at that, I'm like, thank God I was fired from that job.
Yeah.
If I wasn't fired from that job, like I don't know where I'd be actually. I know I'd be successful, but like I think I'd have a different path,
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like everything happens for a reason, but like, man, it's crazy. I actually, I gave the School of Business, what was it? It was, what year is it now? 2026? Like 2019, I think it was. 2018 or 2019. Oswego invited me to do the commencement speech, and they gave me my honorary doctorate. I'm like, what does this mean? So like, I'm a doctor, guys. Never used it or anything, but technically,
You walk around and be like, "I'm a doctor."
That's right.
Dr. Ragovin. But I did. So I gave the commencement speech, and it was really amazing. It was like the first time I've been back to Oswego, by the way, since I graduated. I never went back, like ever. And it was really an amazing experience. And I actually I told that story like in kind of a in a fun speech, not fun, but like kind of a, hey, you might not know what you're doing right now or where you're going, but you will, right? It was kind of funny too. We went out to, what was it, City Hall? Do you guys remember that place?
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The bar?
Old City.
Bar.
Yep.
Yep.
Old City. The one's like the one downtown by the
Yep.
the water.
Yep.
Kind of nice, like very nice. Anyway, I was there with a whole bunch of friends, and there was all these kids who were graduating the next day drinking. And when I was giving the commencement speech the next day, I saw all of them in the front row. And I called them out on the stage. I was like, listen, I know you guys were all partying last night, especially this row right here who was at City Hall. They were like, what? That's a very good memory. It was hilarious because they literally looked at each other like, how did he know we were there? Out of 1,000 people, right?
Yeah.
Sitting right there. It was great. It was really fun. But it was nice to be back. But yeah, I didn't know that I was going to be, an entrepreneur or go into sales or, I thought I was going to be a weatherman. I actually did do the weather for a while after like school, like as a side project, I had jeffsweather.com. And I updated that thing every day. Like, early days of Buddy Media, like I had this, like, it was a company called Oddcast. I don't know if you guys remember it. I don't know if it's in business anymore.
Vaguely.
But you basically can create an avatar. This is in 2007. And then they would give you a phone number. Like brands used it. And you call and you'd be like, all right, today's weather is, high of 52, blah, blah, blah. You could say whatever you want. And then they built a very similar looking avatar to you, but it wasn't like a real you, but it looked pretty much like you, and you could change your outfits. And you could change the background too. So I would do the weather maps and it would be on my site, and everybody loved it. Like it was like I was doing the weather just for fun. So I did that for like many years until then I had to, blogging, if you guys remember that, like blogging was huge. Everybody had a blog.
Yeah.
2006, 2007, 2008, and I was like, man, this is like a lot of updating. So I finally retired jeffsweather.com probably like maybe 2010 or 2011. It was too much. Then blogs went away. It's like I don't really know too many people that blog anymore, right? Because you have everything like Substack. You've got everybody's on so many different platforms now. It's crazy. I had no idea what my life was going to unfold to look like at all. Zero. That's why it's kind of like go to college, have a good time, and like enjoy it.
Right.
Like you're most likely going to do something different.
Exactly. None of us are in the same field we went to college
So
for.
true.
There's very few memories I have of college these days, actually. So I don't know why. I think I just drank too much. I don't know. It was,
Could be. I mean, that was it's a lot of part of a big part of our college college days in Oswego. So
yeah, a lot of drinking.
Yep.
A lot of drinking and smoking.
Yep.
Before it was legal.
Yep.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Right.
Well, we'll just keep that between us. We won't say
That's
right.
So guys, we're in a legal state now. It's like
that's true.
It's like having a cocktail, right? It's like no big deal.
Exactly.
So, Dr. Ragovin, you mentioned a little bit about Buddy Media and working there. In terms of being part of Buddy Media, which was then acquired by Salesforce. I mean, how you mentioned, of course, 9/11 being a pivotal moment in your life. What was Salesforce's acquisition of Buddy Media? How did that figure in to your life, into your career path?
I mean, it was hard. I will tell you that much. So it's like kind of being a co-founder of a startup, growing from 0 to 40 million in revenue and a few people to 200 people. And it's kind of like yours and you're growing with it. And, it's like, then you sell it and you make a lot of money. And then you're part of like a massive mega ship of a company. And it's like, that's one thing I did learn about myself is like corporate America and Jeff Ragovin do not mix. Like it does not work for like an entrepreneur. There's too many rules. Like you want to get deals done. You want to like build relationships with people. It's like legal, forget about it. You want to change a document, no red lines. This is the contract. It's like a deal breaker. So I was there for 3 years because I had to. It was part of the earn out. And then after 3 years I left. And I think I had kind of like it was 2015, about 11 years ago. And I think I had kind of like an identity crisis, actually. Like, I think it's a post-exit founder syndrome that people don't talk about, but it's like you build something, you sell it, you have this great win, but what's next, right? And so I was like, I don't know what's next. And so that's when I launched Ragovin Ventures, and I'm like, oh, now I have the opportunity to actually write checks to invest in companies. And so I'm like, okay, this is interesting. Maybe I'll do that for a little bit until I figure out. I didn't have an idea. That's the thing. It was just kind of hustling for so many years, and then finally you have a moment of pause. And so I'm like, okay, I'm going to invest in smart people and interesting technologies. And for a moment I was like, I'm out of this space. Like, how am I going to keep a pulse on what is relevant? Even, you could read and stuff, but like being part of like the marketecture world, right? Like marketing and technology, and you're running around at conferences, you're meeting people, like you're hearing about stuff that's happening. And then once you're out of it, you're kind of on the periphery, right? So I launched this dinner series called The Digital Fork, which I still do today. And you could check it out, by the way. It's thedigitalfork.com. And I'm like, you know what? At the time, I didn't flesh this thing out. I'm like, I'm going to invite 16 CMOs that I love, from like the CMO of Bloomingdale's to the CMO of Revlon, all these people that I've worked with over the years. And I'm going to invite them to like an amazing restaurant in a private room, 4-course meal, great drinks with zero agenda, right? So like I moderated the whole conversation, just wanted people to open up. And I was like, look, I'm doing this dinner because I've worked with all of you before. And now I'm going to start investing in interesting, technologies and companies. What is relevant to you? Like what's important from a marketing perspective? And so I kind of went around the table. Like I didn't want people talking over each other. So I like completely moderated the discussion. And people really opened up. I'm like, this is at the time. I'm like, are you investing in Snapchat? Like, are you buying ads on Twitter? Is Facebook dead? Like, what's going on with Instagram? Are you still doing email marketing? Like, what is the new technology what's the shiny object? And it was actually an amazing dinner because I kind of interspersed it with like personal stories and really got to like understand more about these individuals that I've even worked with, but I didn't know about. And so I'm like, oh, this is really interesting. So then I did another dinner and I got more feedback and more feedback from people. And I'm like, okay, I invested in all sorts of interesting companies, a lot of it where I completely lost. Like the venture space is tough, right? You're going to have a few big wins and you're going to have a lot of losses. And I realized in a very short period of time, I'm like, this is not for me. Like VC, like single, like proprietor like me, and this is not for me. Like I like people too much. I was writing checks too often, and it was just not I don't know, I just didn't find it like a sustainable thing for me. And so I co-founded another company with this guy out in LA that was kind of like the beginning of influencer marketing. And at the time, I actually got introduced to him through my co-founder at Buddy Media. It's like, Jeff, you got to hear about this idea. And I invested. And it was just a concept. It hadn't been fleshed out yet. And this guy, he literally would not leave me alone. He's like, be my co-founder, be my co-founder, be my co-founder. And I'm like, no, I'm not, I'm taking a little break right now. Like I'm trying to figure out what's next. Like this is not it, but I love the concept. And it was basically like all about how to create content at scale through people, right? So you basically go into a platform and you'd say, hey, I need 500 pictures of cats with hats. And it would basically go to all the people who have cats in the system, and they would create a piece of content and upload it into the platform, and then that brand would be able to use it. I'm just using the cats and hats as an example. This is pre-AI, pre-influencer, pre-everything. I'm like, it's a brilliant idea, right? Did that for about 5 years, parted ways with my co-founder. We had very different views on like scale. I think he wanted to make it more of a lifestyle business. I wanted to do another exit. And then I kind of found my way into the cannabis and data world, which was, again, completely unexpected, but a very unique opportunity where I actually came on board as president for this company it was insane, actually. I met the founder and, he raised like $18 million in seed funding, which it's unheard of. Anyway, this thing was like a rocket ship, which then crashed and burned pretty hard. Actually, I went in and actually took over the company as CEO, completely repositioned it, turned us into a data company outside of the cannabis space, and sold it about a year ago to Samba TV. It's a company called Samasio. Great business. Basically, it's all about like people reading articles and collecting data on who you are. So like if you're a MLB or you're the Mets or whatever, you can do very targeted marketing to people based on the habits of what they're consuming online. I know Jason read that article on the Mets, so I'm going to actually target him with an ad on a publisher or on his phone or wherever he is on any device. Now you're just like a cookie or an anonymous ID. We don't really know it's Jason Hamo. He's freaking out right now. Like, what do they have on
No, I get it. My company does this kind of stuff, so I understand it. So,
and so, yeah, so like I kind of have moved through like this very interesting life of things that I never thought I would do. And now I'm like a producer of a show called Bounty Uncharted. And it's like I've been doing that for the last year, and we just finished our first series, and we're winning all sorts of awards. We just won the Cannes Film International Festival for the Future for one of the episodes. Yeah.
Nice.
So if you go to bountyyuncharted.com, we just actually released an episode yesterday with AJ Muss, his story is insane. He was a U.S. Olympic snowboarder, died, like he had a shoulder surgery and he died, went into a coma. They said he'd never walk again. And 3 days ago, he's an IMSA race car driver now, but just 3 days ago, there was a huge announcement for Aston Martin, like he's going to be racing in Europe this year. Great guy. Fell off the bridge of my boat, almost broke his nose. So the episode is a very interesting one. We had to go to the hospital, but we still managed to catch a lot of fish and, see some whales. But the show is basically like Nat Geo meets Wicked Tuna meets the Food Network in one. It's something I've always wanted to do. Even kind of post Salesforce, I wanted to do it, but just never had the time. And so all summer, I just had very interesting people on the show. And I had this guy, Alfonso James, who was in jail for 32 years for murder for a crime he didn't commit.
Oh, man.
I saw him yesterday in the city. Like, the guy is the nicest man in the world. And so he's an exoneree, and he's about to get exonerated. And so I flew him and his girlfriend here, and he was arrested at 17. He's 54.
Wow.
He just got out 4 years ago.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah, it's nuts. And so we had an amazing time. Like, we went fishing, we cooked, I took him to the farms. He'd never had his feet in the ocean. Like, he grew up in Milwaukee. Like, he's like, I don't understand this. Like, the water's coming up and down. I'm like, I know Alfonso, it's amazing. So it's like, I've had some really interesting guests on the show. Yeah, I had Michael Chernow on, founder of the Meatball Shop, and Seymour's like kind of a legend in the food industry. And now he's got his own direct-to-consumer brand in the fitness space. So it's been fun. Like, I'm kind of going back to my roots with broadcasting, I think.
Yeah.
So
using it somehow.
Storytelling through experience. We're about to actually release next week. It's called Empire of the Atlantic. And it's basically 2 years of just the most epic drone footage of like finbacks, humpbacks, common dolphins, bottlenose dolphins, sunfish, bluefish, striped bass, tuna, just incredible, like, from the drone. Because every time we're out on the boat, I have a guy, this guy, Mike Cuomo, is my cinematographer. He's just incredible. Like, the stuff that he captures is like, I watched the edit today and I'm just like, if this is National Geographic logo on it, you would never know it wasn't Bounty Uncharted. Like, it's not 100% done, but like, it's almost there, and it's mind blowing. So Oswego was good for something.
There you go. There you go.
So how often do you publish content for Bounty Uncharted?
For Bounty Uncharted, on the site right now, there's 4 episodes live.
Okay.
So bountyyuncharted.com is kind of the home. And then there's a YouTube channel that, has like lots of content. I think we've got like 100,000 subscribers. It's relatively new, so it's only about a year old. We have 4 more episodes that are coming out in season 1. But Instagram is a big kind of engine, for me. I post a ton of content there every day. That's not like episode related, but content related. I think living on the East End is it's a very interesting world, because you've got in the wintertime, it's like, it's not very busy here because the summer people leave, but you've got locals and surfers and artists, and it's amazing. Like, everybody out here is just obsessed with the weather like me. So it's a good place to be. But I post content all the time with what's happening. We've submitted, I think, to 100 film festivals this show. We've won 15 so far. It's pretty
nice.
Pretty cool. Never produced anything until this, so I actually didn't know what I was doing. Honest to God. It was kind of like everything I've ever done in my life. I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just going to go with it.
Learn on the job.
Build the plane when you're flying it. So it's been really fun. And the Bounty Uncharted thing was totally like I'm doing this as a passion project. But it's turned into like, holy crap, I created a media platform that I didn't even realize. And so now I'm already thinking about season 2. Um, yeah, so like ever since I sold the company like a year ago, I've been probably busier than I ever have been in my life, just because I'm like, the show, the Digital Fork now is actually turned into its own brand series that people sponsor. So I do like 2 or 3 of those a month, right? So it's a lot of people. Um, Consult with folks, work out, it's kind of nice to have like your own schedule to do whatever you want when you want. And I've constantly thought about, okay, going back and building something, which every day I'm kind of like enticed by something, but I'm holding out a little bit. I'm holding out a little bit just because last summer too, I'm like, oh yeah, today I'm gonna go fishing today. Tomorrow I'm gonna fish also.
There you
Yeah,
go.
The
I'm
next day
also
too.
fish. Yeah, it's really nice, you know. And then I invite everybody out. I'm like, come fishing with me. Stay for the weekend. Uh, but yeah, so life is, so interesting. It's a journey, that's for sure.
So we mentioned that you founded South Fork Sea Farmers back in
Yes,
2018.
yes.
So what does the organization do
Oh yeah,
for the environment and marine life?
yeah. So South Fork Sea Farmers is actually very near and dear to me. So it's a nonprofit. So we're a 501(c)(3). We started it 8 years ago. Actually, I I totally like had no idea what was happening in our town. I was on the East Hampton like town site looking something up tax code wise, and I found out that we have a hatchery 8 years ago, and I'm like, we have a hatchery, like what? So I'm, of course, being a fisherman, I'm reading more about this, and then there's a contact on there, so I reach out to this guy Barley, and I'm like, hey, which I thought was a very strange name. I'm like, I've never met a guy named Barley before. His real name is John, but everyone calls him Barley. I was like, hey, I was just reading about the shellfish hatchery that you guys like produce oysters, clams, and scallops. Where are you guys? And he's like, oh, we're on Gann Road. I'm like, my boat's on Gann Road. I'm at the marina. He's like, well, come on down. I'll show it to you. I go down there, and it's a full-fledged like facility that is growing oysters, clams, and scallops from seed. So basically, in the wintertime, there's a hatchery in Montauk where they basically take like 8 oysters and they spawn them in a lab, like 8 oysters or 10 oysters. Like we're talking very few.
Mhm.
And there's female oysters and there's male oysters, and they just kind of like shoot eggs and sperm and this whole bath, and then it goes into these huge, giant vats, and you get millions and millions of oysters from those 10. And then they add like bicarbonate, and that basically, I don't know if you guys know this, but oysters when they're larvae they swim.
No, I did not know that.
Did you know that?
I did
No.
not know that.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
And so they swim until they actually attach to a substrate like sodium bicarbonate or shell. And then that's when they start growing. And then they never move again the rest of their lives. Like they don't move.
Wow.
Unless, of course, the water pushes them somewhere. But I was like, this is incredible. And so I said to Barley, I'm like, if I don't know about this, like nobody knows about this, because I'm like very like in tune with the water and keeping the bays clean, all that stuff. So I'm like, hey, can I throw you like a party or a benefit to like raise money or something? Because I'm sure the town doesn't give you guys a lot of money. He's like, what do you mean? I'm like, like throw you a party, like raise money so that you could probably buy equipment and stuff that you probably need. The town probably doesn't give you, right? And it took him a while to actually understand what I was saying. And finally, he's like, sure. And so I threw this huge party at my house. I invited all my friends. We raised like, I think the first year, like 20 grand. And I gave him a check. And he's like, so like, this is for us? And I'm like, yeah, that's what I'm saying. We're doing a benefit for you. So like, you could buy stuff. He's like, this is amazing. And then we became friends, and he's like, listen, the town has launched a growing program that we want to test out. And so do you want to be a gardener and see if we can grow oysters like with the community? So I'm like, yeah, of course, like I'm in. And so I started growing oysters with a very small group of people, and it was successful. And one of the guys who owns a restaurant very close to the hatchery, he was also part of it. And he's like, hey, we should launch like an educational arm so that people know how to do this. Because it's a pretty, you don't just like grow oysters. Like there's a whole process. There's maintenance. You have to go down there like every 2 weeks. Like it's a lot of work. So he's like, we should launch an educational arm, like a nonprofit. I'm like, okay, cool, let's do that. So we got a group of people together. We came up with a name. And then we just went from like one small garden site in 3 Mile Harbor to 5 gardens. So we have 3 Mile Harbor, Hog Creek, Napeague Harbor, Lake Montauk, and Accabonac Harbor. We have 200 families growing oysters now. And every oyster filters 50 gallons of water a day. So they clean the water. And everybody gets to grow about 1,000 oysters every summer. And we take a few back so that we could seed them in the bays. And now we've moved on to reef building. So kind of like a billion oyster project in New York. So we basically we have 27 restaurants that are participating where we have volunteers that go and pick up all the shells that people eat. So all the oysters and the clams. And then we cure them at a site in Montauk, like thousands and thousands of yards of shell. And then they're all bagged by the students in East Hampton High School. And then we put spat on top of them, which is basically baby oysters. They adhere to it. And then we build these massive reefs. So it's taken us probably 6 years to get approval through the DEC and the town trustees. But we're about to erect the 5th reef this year, which is like incredible. So not only do we have 200 families growing oysters, but we have 5 reefs, and we raise money. Like what started as just a small $20K check to the hatchery, now we raise money to give grants to students in need who want to major in marine sciences. So
nice. That's awesome.
That's really
there's a lot
cool.
of people on the East End out here who actually are not rich, despite what everybody thinks, that grew up here and they can't afford to go to college. So every summer now, we've been doing this for the last 4 years. We give checks to kids who are like, they're interns with us and they are incredible students. And yeah, so I think we've given away over 100K, in scholarship monies in the last few years, and it's growing. So
Do you sell the oysters? Do you sell like the
no,
oysters? So
we're
what do
nonprofit.
what do you guys do with all the oysters?
Oh, we eat them.
That's what I'm saying. You don't sell them to restaurants or give them to restaurants or anything.
No, all my friends, like, they're like, Jeff, I need 3 dozen oysters this Friday night. I'm like, no problem. So we can't sell them because, when you grow oysters, they need to be tagged, right? So that the DEC does that so that if you get sick at a restaurant, they know exactly where those oysters came from.
Okay.
And so because we're a nonprofit, it's like, okay, you're growing your own oysters. It's your own risk.
Okay.
No one gets sick, obviously. But, the whole purpose of this is like teaching people how to grow. As they're growing, they're filtering the water, taking out nitrogen and, all the bad stuff that you get on the runoff from lawns and stuff, which might cause like algae blooms. And then, we take some back from everybody, and then we seed them in the bays. But Barley, who runs the program, he seeds probably, I don't know what he did last year, but probably something like 3 million oysters and like 200,000 scallops and like 5 million clams.
That's crazy.
So that locals could go out and dig up clams with a rake. Like, that's because of our organization.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's pretty fun.
So jumping back in time, you mentioned, Jeff, you went to Oswego to study meteorology initially. So how did Oswego wind up on your radar when you were looking at colleges?
I remember specifically my first choice was Northeastern. And Northeastern, because they had the co-op program, right? So it's like, and they had a good meteorology program from what I remember. But I was like, I went to camp on the Cape, so I knew like Boston very well. I was like, I want to go to Northeast. Like, I was dead set on Northeastern, but my parents were like, no, that's too expensive. We can't afford that. So the second choice was basically like, you have to go to a state school. So I'm like, okay. So Oswego had the best meteorology program, and Al Roker went there. So I'm like, all right, fine, I'll go to Oswego. I don't care. But I was kind of like, for a while, I was pretty pissed off about not going to Northeastern. But then I did study abroad my junior year, and went to London, which was like awesome, like best time of my life. unfortunately, going back to Oswego for like senior year that's like it was a big Debbie Downer because like I grew up in New York City and then got to experience London as an
Yeah.
adult, and I'm like,
Wow.
and I was working at Powerhouse Television and Film, which was like they did all the big shows, like, you guys wouldn't know this, but like I suppose you think that's funny with Lisa Tarbuck and like Blind Date with Cilla Black, like all these like UK celebrities. Like I was around all these celebrities, and my job was to recruit audience
Wow.
to go to the in
Hmm.
studio audience. So my job was to go to like bars and clubs and give people tickets. Freaking awesome. Call people up on the phone all day long, like, hey, do you want to come see Blind Date? It was great. Going out in London was like I was back in New York, and then I went to Oswego.
Yeah. Was that show similar to the blind date show on MTV?
Yes,
Okay.
very similar.
Okay.
But yeah, so I went to Oswego for meteorology, yeah, and then obviously switched because
Yeah.
I mean, listen, the physics is real. Like
Yeah.
it's hard, you know.
You're not the only person that
Yeah.
dropped out of meteorology.
I wasn't a great student, actually, to be honest. Like, I think I got like pretty much, I was consistently B's, maybe an A here, maybe a C. There was a few classes that I remember that we had to take. Like, I'm sure you guys remember this. Like,
Yep.
these very large lecture classes where
Hmm.
there's no way the professor knew who you were.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like,
Yep.
everybody knew what the test was going to be. So no one even studied. It was silly. Um, Crazy. Yeah. Again, well, it was very much a blur, the college life.
So how did you end up as a board member at Oswego?
Oswego does a really good job of like following their students who, wind up being successful or have exits, right? Because that means donor money, right?
Mhm.
So I think it was Deborah Stanley reached out to me, or her office. You guys remember Deborah Stanley?
Sure.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
And I got an email, and it's like, Deborah Stanley is going to be in New York and would like to have lunch with you. And I'm like, hell yeah. I remember Deborah Stanley. And I had lunch with her, and I was like, God, she is so nice. Like, she really is. I mean, she's a
Mhm.
lovely, lovely human, And it's like, you're a kid in college. Like, you don't pay attention to stuff like that.
Right.
And I just was so impressed by her. And she's like, listen, Jeff, we really we'd love for you to come back and see the campus. And I'm like, okay. I mean, I haven't been back. And I just, I was busy. So I'm just like, there's no way I'm going to be able to come up there. And she's like, well, we'd be honored, for you to come and give the commencement speech. It wasn't that day, obviously. Like, it was after several phone calls. And I did the commencement speech, and it was amazing. It's actually it's online. I'll send it to you guys after so you guys can hear it. And then they before that, they're like, we want to, give you your honorary doctorate, which is really huge. I'm like, really? Great.
You're like, do you remember what my GPA was when I was in college?
By the way, we did kid around with it. I'm like, Deborah, you should pull up my record. You should look at my grades. And we had this whole dinner at her house, like the day of graduation. It was so nice. Her husband was there. She was on Lakeside. She was actually right around the corner from
Yeah.
Johnson Hall.
Mhm.
Yep.
Her house.
Yep.
And she retired recently, which was really a bummer because I really got to know her, in the last decade in a whole different way.
Mhm.
Mary Canali too, who kind of she runs the whole. Well, she retired too, actually.
Yeah.
So, great people.
Well, Jeff, before we get you out of here, we have a couple more questions for you. We always ask our alum and students that attended Oswego about food because we obviously love food. Our favorite dining hall food item was always the chicken patty sandwich. Were you a chicken patty sandwich?
I was a chicken
person?
patty sandwich person.
Yeah.
Yes, for sure. 100%.
What was your perfect sandwich? Would you throw on there?
I think if there was like Russian dressing and like Swiss and something,
wow.
like, yeah.
That's a first. We never got that one before. That's a good
I
one.
gotta
That's a
tell you
solid.
that, like, I don't remember a lot from eating at the dining hall. Like, I don't remember a ton other than that chicken patty sandwich.
Memorable.
Yeah.
Like, I'm really thinking hard. Like, I'm really thinking hard. Like, I don't remember. I mean, I think I actually ate out a lot.
Oh, really?
Sub shop?
Huh? Sub
Sub
shop?
shop?
And like there was like a Ponderosa and like
Yeah.
Oh, the
my God.
Ponderosa. Yes,
Well, you can eat
of
Chinese
course.
buffet.
Chinese buffet, exactly. Like Canales,
Oh yeah, yeah.
you
Of
know,
course.
yeah, like all the usual places.
Ponderosa. Man, I haven't heard that in a
It
so
was either
long.
Ponderosa. Oh no, not Ponderosa. Sorry, it was green. It was a green sign. It was up on the when you came out of school to the right. Up
Perkins?
104. Perkins. That's what I
Perkins.
Yeah.
Ah.
Yes.
The Rosa was like all the way on the east
Ponderosa
side.
was on the other
Yeah.
side of the
Down.
city.
No,
Yeah,
no, I never went to Ponderosa. Perkins.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah, it was like a breakfast place.
Yeah.
I mean, they had regular food too. They had dinner too, but I
But
mean,
no,
yeah,
I just
it was
I
known
did,
for their pancakes.
I did eat a lot at school. I just don't remember.
Mhm.
I really don't. I don't remember. I couldn't tell you anything. Like, what else did you guys eat?
Remember breakfast? They'd have breakfast for dinner.
Breakfast
a
for
lot.
dinner was big.
Yeah.
Yep.
Don't remember that. So I
And
definitely.
then I
Chicken
remember
patty
it was like
sandwich.
burger. They did burger days. A
Burgers
lot.
were good. Yeah, the burgers.
I mean,
were
that was pretty
decent.
much it.
A
Pasta
lot of
day.
pasta. A lot of pasta, salad,
Mhm.
buffet style.
But I was like chicken patties whenever I could get it.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
all I remember.
Because that's really the most memorable part of the dining hall is the chicken patty
Yeah,
sandwich.
I have a few very, very, very vivid memories of college. Like, I don't know if you remember Suzanne from Australia. Do you remember her?
Yeah, Suzanne Anderson, I think.
Susanna
That was her
Anderson.
name?
Yeah,
Susanna
I think so.
Anderson. I still talk to her actually on like Facebook.
Oh, do you really?
Oh
So
wow.
Susanna, it was me and Susanna and Maria Leaf.
Mm-hmm.
And we were I think we were at Waterbury, we were in Waterbury Hall, and there were these vines in the back because we're right on Lakeside. And Susanna's like, Jeff, we must take the vines down because they're strangling the trees. And I'm like, Susanna, I'm not touching those vines. I'm like, think we should just leave them. She's like, no, Jeff, we've got to save the trees. I'm like, okay. So I'm like out there, we're like pulling these vines off and like, all over. I don't know what it was. I don't know if it was poison oak or what.
Oh no.
Oh, no.
Oh
But
no.
from my arms, my legs.
Oh man.
And by the way, I remember being in WTOP and those lights were so hot.
Oh.
Yeah.
And I had to actually go to the hospital because it was the most traumatic thing I've ever experienced in all of college. Because I don't know, I must have had an allergic reaction, but I like blew up from it, and they had to put me on like prednisone and all this stuff. It was the most like horribly itchy thing I've ever experienced in my life. It wasn't poison ivy, that's for sure. It was horrible, but she got it also, and we suffered.
Oh
together.
boy.
But
Wow.
I'll never forget that. That's for sure. Maybe that's why I can't remember any of the food. What else? What else you got? What else you got?
Are you a football fan? Are you going to watch the Super Bowl this weekend?
I kind of am, but I'm going to be in Miami this weekend, and I'm on a flight on Sunday, so I feel like I'm going to miss the Super Bowl.
You are,
You
yeah.
could probably watch it on the flight.
Probably.
Yeah, I could probably watch it on the flight, but like honestly, I don't care this year. I really don't. I mean, I feel like the last really good game that I watched was like it was the Bills and the Eagles. When it was like it was almost going to be tied, and then they like didn't do the kick to go into
they went for
overtime
two and they missed.
out.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, I'm done with this now. But yeah, I don't know. I'll watch the tail end of it.
Well, Jeff, we really appreciate you coming on. It was great going down memory lane a little bit. Next time if you start another venture, we'll have to have you on and talk about it again.
That's right.
Yeah, or maybe let's go up and do a WTOP session.
A takeover.
We'll just go and be like, "Yo, we've been here before. We know how to do this."
Yeah, right.
By the
There
way,
you go.
like, how do we operate? Any of this?
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly.
We don't remember.
Teach
Yeah,
us.
teach us how to do it. Right.
It would
Exactly.
be fun actually to go back there and do that.
We did a NYO takeover when we went up there for the communications alumni dinner back in October. So and so we did like an hour on NYO.
Yeah,
It was fun.
Well, I'm supposed to be up there all the time for like board meetings. I'm the worst board member ever.
And you never go.
It's such a commitment. Like, it's like
Yeah.
they want you to go for like 2 days. I'm like, I'm always somewhere. Like, it just doesn't work.
Yeah.
It's very hard.
Yeah. I hear you. I
So,
mean, I don't hear you, but.
yeah. All right, guys.
All right. Well, we appreciate it.
It's good seeing you guys.
And it was great to have you.
All right, guys. Stay warm.
And that was Jeff Ragovin, the founder and CEO of Ragovin Ventures and the co-founder and board president of South Fork Farmers, as well as a Oswego alum who graduated when Kevin and I did in 2000. So that was pretty cool. That was fun. I liked the South Fork Sea Farmers organization that he is. That's really cool. Like all those oysters and all the seafood and stuff that they're basically growing is pretty cool.
Yeah. I've got a confession to make. I don't like oysters.
What?
Yeah. I've tried oysters. I just can't. Can't.
No, I love
Can't
them.
do it.
They're delicious.
I don't think I've ever had. I've had mussels. I've had
Mussels are
scallops.
wonderful.
I've
Yes.
had shrimp. I don't think I've ever had oysters.
Really?
I can't remember. I don't.
You
maybe
like you
once
never
or twice.
like slurp it out of the shell?
Oh
No.
no, I'm not.
Yeah,
doing that.
that's the part I can't get over. I
I'm not
tried
doing
it.
that.
I did.
No,
I tried
it's
it. and then it's like,
delicious.
no, it's not though.
no,
It is. It is.
No, it's
No,
not.
man. No, come on.
no, thanks.
No,
You guys are wrong.
I can't.
But you
Not
clams, they come out of a shell.
But maybe it's not even
You don't
because it's
have
raw.
to slurp you don't have to slurp it out
No, I
of the
know,
shell.
but you can't chew it either, though.
I want it cooked, whatever it is. Just cook it. Cook
I
the
love
hell out of
sushi,
it.
by the way. I don't care about raw. The rawness doesn't bother me. It's just maybe the texture of it. I can't do it.
Yeah.
Like,
Eh.
it's
To each
big
their own. Look,
loogie.
hey, look, I'm a very picky eater, so I'm not one to like rain on anyone's food parade because, when it comes to food, I'm a very picky person. So, I can't really, say too much because I'll just be a hypocrite then.
We have too much of that going on in the country.
Exactly. But anyway, so I think there's a football game coming up on Sunday.
Oh,
is
yeah.
there?
I think so. I think they call it the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
But I don't really think
Eh.
that many people care as much this year. I don't think people really want the Patriots to win or be in the Super Bowl. I mean, I don't care personally. I could care if they win or lose. I don't care who wins the game. I'm not really rooting for either team. I'm just there to watch at this point this year. I don't hate the Patriots like most people do. So,
Yeah, I can't stand the organization. I just top to bottom cannot stand it. Can't stand it.
I'm that's another thing. Like Leah said to me, she's like, I don't understand why you like the Patriots. I'm like, I don't like the Patriots. I just don't hate them like everybody else does. There's a difference. Like, I don't have this pure hatred for them. I'm like, my team beat them twice in the Super Bowl. Why do I need to hate them?
I mean, that's fair, yeah, but I mean, it's I don't
They
know
didn't
what
beat
it
my
is.
team in the Super Bowl.
I don't know what it is. Like it's
I like that, Patriots fans.
Eli Manning's 2-0 versus Tom Brady in the Super Bowl.
That's
Yeah, I
right.
like that.
Exactly.
I would like Seattle to win because they got,
They
'cause
will. I think they will.
they came so close. When they didn't hand the ball off to Marshawn Lynch.
Dude, you got to hand the ball off.
I mean, you
Marshawn
got to
Lynch.
hand the ball.
That
off.
was just poor coaching. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that was
Like, you don't
brutal.
throw the ball in that situation. Like, if they had just run it, it would have been a touchdown.
Oh yeah, easily.
Marshawn Lynch would not have gotten denied that close to the end zone. There's no way. So, yeah. But I mean, that's what happens when you have a coach that tries to outsmart himself.
Yep.
Who now is not a coach anymore because he got fired again. But
Yeah,
I mean, he's
that was
old,
fast.
too.
yeah,
Like, I mean,
yeah.
he's-
He lasted 1 year. He lasted
Yeah.
1 year in Oakland, and then he got canned.
Not surprising though. Not surprising. But yeah, I think the Sea Chickens are going to win by a touchdown.
Do you know how much money the Seahawks have under the cap next year? Oh my God. They have a lot of, I don't know the exact number, but it's a lot of money under the cap. And I'm like, so basically what you're telling me is they're just going to like be good for years to come because they're going to be
Maybe.
able to spend money on, and get these, unless for some reason the free agency doesn't work out for them. But
Yeah.
like they have all this money to spend to bring in free agents. And I'm like, so they're just going to get a ton better. That's like insane.
In theory, yeah. In theory, that would happen, but
So yeah,
you don't know. I mean, it's the league is full of parity.
it's true, but
Everyone's 8-8.
Pretty
Not the
much.
Giants. Giants seem to never be 8-8.
No, I
Or
mean
8-9.
Giants haven't been worth the conversation for about 15 years.
They are now. We got John Harbaugh.
Oh God, who cares? I'm so out on that. I am. I'm just so out on it.
You're one of the few, man. You're one of the few.
I know. I hope they prove me wrong. I mean,
Gotta get on the train. It's leaving the station. Get on. Hop on, my friend.
Listen,
Hop on.
I will still support the Giants. I have no problem with that. I just don't. Everyone thinks they're going to go to the freaking playoffs and the Super Bowl in the next few years, and that's nuts.
You never know. We'll see.
That's crazy.
Few years. I think I give them a year. I give them not this year, but I give them next year, and I think they'll be a playoff team, and I think they could maybe make a little bit of noise. Like I don't expect them to make the Super Bowl, but you know, I think it'll be a gradual.
But think about this. It's been 14 years since any of the New York City area big major force teams have won a chance. The Giants in January of 2012, the last team.
It's crazy.
Now I'll give you the Liberty recently won WNBA,
Right.
so they won the championship last year, right? They won it last year.
MLS
has won
NYC,
a couple,
yes.
right? There's been two.
Just once they've won it.
I thought CFC and Red Bull.
Well, Red Bulls have been to the finals twice.
Oh, okay.
But they have not won it. Yeah.
I think women's soccer. I think there's been
the Gotham. I think the Gotham.
yeah,
they may have.
I don't know if they've won, but they've been. No, I think they won it last year. Actually, I think they won it last year. Yeah, I think so.
So pretty much the women's pro teams
dominating
and soccer have won men's soccer too. They've won titles, but
yeah,
the big four have not since 2012. 2012
have sucked,
guys.
To be fair, I mean the Rangers have
oh my God.
been in the conversation.
They've been
come close a couple times.
The Mets made the World Series. The Yankees made the World Series
Yeah.
a couple years ago, but still,
I know.
it's
Sad state of affairs.
Yeah. So that will do it for us for this wonderful podcast. You can find us on all of our social media. You know where we are. You can email us if you like, throwingbagelspodcast@gmail.com. Boom. Nailed it. Thank you very much. I'm an expert. I'm a pro. That's right. So that'll do it for us for this podcast. Gentlemen.
Jason,
Kevin.
Stay warm.
very well.
Don't freeze yourself.
Go Seahawks.
Sea chickens.